Budringini everyone, good evening and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this evening. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bullingari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and eventually secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here too. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered not primitive cultures, ancient ones. The people there he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents, no mortgages, and no homelessness. Armies were unknown of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands are maintained in the natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life for us, and for the longest time, and not too very long ago. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good and we are naturally a happy people. Just keep following that beautiful spirit within you, got you this far. Share your gifts with the rest of us, and then I'm sure that we can put together a world that we can be proud of and that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic of Macquarie University, Professor Kevin Jamieson.
Thank you, Chris, for that warm and generous welcome to country. Thank you. Graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my great privilege as Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony today. First, I welcome our graduands. I hope this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. You deserve to take pride, great pride, in your graduation today. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance. You need to make many sacrifices. But that hard work has paid off, and I congratulate each of you on your achievements. Today, I also want to especially welcome those of you who are sitting beside and behind our graduates as their invited guests. because you've done well too. The very fact that you're here, invited by one of our graduates to share one of the great days of their lives, is proof positive that you've been an important influence. So, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands, wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever you are, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. I have an important service for you to perform for our newest graduates. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our newest graduates are too modest to proclaim their success, make sure you do it for them. The ceremony we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. From the time of the very first graduations in Europe more than 800 years ago, graduates have been wearing robes similar to those worn by our graduates today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Throughout history, graduations have remained a defining feature in the life of every university and its students. Graduations remain an intrinsic part of life at Macquarie University, and today we're proud to host this time-honoured ceremony for our newest graduates. Our university takes its name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. We learnt at school that Macquarie was a great builder, but his greatest legacy had nothing to do with the bricks and mortar. Instead, it lay in his commitment to establishing the new colony as an egalitarian society, the foundation for the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And it is that legacy that we here at Macquarie strive to maintain and honour. Like Governor Macquarie, we seek to transform and improve people's lives, not only of our own students, but also of people around the globe. We achieve this through the educational experiences of our graduates and by the fruits of our research. From the very beginning, Macquarie University defied the traditional boundaries of academia, instead pioneering new learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventional thinking. We shifted thinking and empowered our students to learn in new and exciting ways. Importantly, students at Macquarie now guide what and how they learn. Each of our graduates today has found a route to success, a route that is as unique as you are. Your journey here today will, in turn, guide and inspire the students that will follow you. Here at Macquarie, you didn't just learn from us, we learnt from you. As students, you helped us to enhance our collective research and knowledge base and improve services and support. Your vision for tomorrow guides us further as we position future generations for work and success in the world that you will create. Part of this vision involves developing our campus and boosting our capacity for research. In the past few years, we have built new facilities, including the Macquarie University Hospital, the Australian Hearing Hub, the Simulation Hub, and a state-of-the-art media centre in the Faculty of Arts. Each of these are world-class facilities, some might say even unique, but there's more to come. Over the coming years, we will further enhance our facilities to ensure that Macquarie remains at the cutting edge of world research. The world is facing big questions, and Macquarie aims to provide the tools for our students to find the answers. We have a global network of Macquarie alumni which now numbers over 176,000 graduates living in more than 140 countries. We have more than 4,000 staff, nearly 40,000 students, and hold a ranking in the top 2% of universities in the world. We are developing at a rapid pace, but are proud of our heritage and our beginnings. Scientists and engineers at Macquarie work on tomorrow's technology next door to museums housing some of the most ancient artefacts ever found. Our medical scientists look for cures to crippling illnesses, while our leading business minds develop new economic models. The amenity and peacefulness of at Macquarie providing the space for critical thinking and imagination. The balance of world-leading knowledge and facilities, coupled with Macquarie's spectacular natural beauty, give members of our community the freedom to think and grow. We want Macquarie to always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. It is a unique environment, and a unique community of scholars and friends. And in just a few minutes, it will be my great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of Macquarie University alumni. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Jane Stanton. Jane is the Deputy President of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand, has over 15 years professional accounting, finance and risk management expertise. Jane qualified as a chartered accountant while working in financial services, assurance and advisory at PricewaterhouseCoopers. She then spent 10 years at Macquarie Group in a variety of finance, training and compliance-based roles. Jane joined Suncorp Group in 2009 in the General Insurance Chief Risk Office, where she established the risk governance and risk assurance functions. Jane has lived and worked in Europe, North America and Asia. She's a past recipient of ICCA's President's Prize for Young Chartered Accountant of the Year and was awarded fellowship in 2007. Jane is a board member for several not-for-profit organisations. The other highlights of Jane's adult life are reaching Everest Base Camp, being half a Waratah petal in the opening ceremony of the 2000 Olympic Games, and spending several months teaching in a primary school in Calcutta, India. I now invite Jane Stanton to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jane Stanton.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kevin Jamieson, faculty members, university staff, distinguished guests, family and friends, and most importantly, our graduates. Congratulations to you all. Congratulations also to the family and friends who have supported you on your journey to date and whom I know will continue to support you. Tonight is a celebration for you all. 23 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you are today, about to be conferred with my Bachelor of Economics degree, majoring in accounting from this university. I was employed in the audit division of Pricewaterhouse and was studying for the Institute of Chartered Accountants professional year. I assumed that my life would follow a straight path, and perhaps naively that I could predict where it will end: partnership in a Big Four firm. Tonight is the start of the next stage of your journey, so I thought that it would be appropriate to share a little of my journey over the last 23 years and how I came to be standing at this lectern speaking to you tonight. I ended up spending only 4 years at PwC. The bright lights and excitement of investment banking then beckoned, and I spent 10 years riding the wave of economic success, working with brilliant people on fascinating transactions all over the world. I was living in Hong Kong, performing a global role, flying at the front of the plane, staying in only 5-star hotels. And one day, it all came to a grinding halt. I was crippled by anxiety and depression. I spent time in hospital. My journey was no longer a straight path. It had taken me to what felt like the bottom of the abyss. A lifetime of repeated episodes of depression, a misalignment of values, separation from my support network, and a totally unsustainable lifestyle all culminated in a significant health crisis. I had hit rock bottom. I didn't know when or even if I would be able to get back to work again. And even if I did get back, it was unlikely to be at the same level of intensity or seniority I had worked at previously. I said that I was at the bottom of the abyss. However, I didn't have to start again from that point. I was a qualified chartered accountant. I had transferable knowledge and skills. Most importantly, I was a member of a professional body, which meant that I was part of a community and therefore had support available. I felt isolated because of my mental illness. However, I was not isolated. I had a network and therefore opportunities to rebuild my confidence and begin again. I sought out mentors and advice. I used my knowledge and skills in a volunteer capacity. I rationalised the stock system at my local Red Cross store. I redesigned the filing system and office processes at my niece's primary school. I slowly regained my confidence. Realising the value and importance of my membership of a professional accounting body, I wanted to ensure not only was its prestige of the designation preserved, but also give back to the professional body that had given me so much. This led me to become involved in the governance of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand, eventually putting myself forward for election by the CA-ANZ Council as Deputy President. That's the wonderful thing about your journey. Be prepared for the unexpected and never shut yourself off from the opportunities. I had never included the CA-ANZ presidency in my career plan, yet here I am. Many people say to me that being the president of CA-ANZ is an achievement, and it absolutely is. My true achievement, however, is the journey that I have taken to be here tonight and the path that I continue to take. My skills as an accountant enabled me to rebuild my career, not at the same level of intensity, but equally fulfilling. Not only intellectually, but also having the opportunity to support others embarking upon their own journey and to fulfil their own dreams. Over the last 23 years, I've also learnt that accounting is so much more than the name suggests. The way that I describe myself today and the way that the strong foundation of the skills that I got at this institution have developed are very different to how I describe myself when I was sitting in your position. I'm an artist. Balance sheets represent perfect symmetry. Nothing can replicate the excitement when order emerges from disorder. I'm a storyteller. I have written about companies, risk management frameworks, and whether a government should recapitalise the privately owned banks within its jurisdiction. I use not only words, but also numbers and pictures to tell the story. I'm a philosopher. I have provided opinions on whether a company's risk culture enables its strategy or whether or not the decisions made by management align with that culture. I'm a diplomat. I have lived and worked in Asia, Europe, and the Americas, and been a member of teams that could easily represent a quorum at the United Nations. And I'm also a linguist. Accounting is the language of business globally. I can communicate effectively wherever in the world I'm working. Congratulations on attaining your degree. Be the person you want to be, and not the person you think others want you to be. Always remain open to the unexpected, and remember that your journey is unlikely to be a straight path. Go forward, and most of all, enjoy. Thank you.
Jane, thank you so much for that. As I listened to you, I was first I was really moved that you would share your personal experience, and I think that was a powerful thing for students who are sitting, or graduates who are sitting here, because we all take different journeys through life. And then I was impressed by the way you conveyed the message that life's journey is complex. There is no one journey. At the age you guys are, it feels as if there's a straight line. There are no straight lines. There's all sorts of lines. We all take our own journey. But then you closed and you expressed a passion for your profession in a way I've never heard expressed so powerfully about any profession. I thought that was incredibly moving, the way you expressed that passion for your passion for your profession. So thank you so much. And can I ask all of you to join me again in thanking Jane? As Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring on degrees on those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. I now call on our Acting Registrar, Professor Sherman Young, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for these awards.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council, and by my authority as Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Will you please be seated? Deputy Vice-Chancellor,